Hello everyone, my name is Zrul, and I am your host for today's Train Wreck of an episode. This is Redstone, a beginner's approach. And today we're going to go ahead and start looking at the next grouping of power components here, Redstone power generating components. To give you a quick recap here, we have the redstone, which generates a strong power in its block. Well, to correct here, strong power in the block above it gives a weak power to everything around except no power to the block that it is attached to. Additionally, the redstone can be turned off with the use of an additional redstone signal. The lever and the button, which both work similarly, they give strong power to the block that they are in and the block that they are attached to, meaning everything is surrounding gets weak power. Today we're going to go ahead and look at three things. Well, actually, I guess you might want to call them 4 or 5 things here, depending on how you break it up. We're going to look at the redstone block, and we're going to go ahead and look at the different pressure plates. The redstone block is the newest, one of the newest items introduced in the 1.5 redstone update, and it's kind of a mobile, self-powered, strong power source, if that kind of makes any sense. Basically, consider the redstone block to be a opaque block that always has a strong power, meaning it will transmit along a redstone line, it will generate weak power to the blocks adjacent to it, which means also, as an example, in this case, this will light up, but this will not. It can also power repeaters and comparators, as long as they're facing the correct direction. So to give you an example for this comparator, you see it's not facing the correct direction. You have to be facing it the opposite way here. So, like so. So the side with the torches there, and the same for the redstone. It has to be facing away to be powered. If you power it this way, no power. So it's all well and handy there. The nice thing about this, like I said, is it can be moved around. So to give you one quick example, let's imagine we have this light switch here, or this can represent a toggle switch there, where in this position it lights up this block, in this position it does not. And let's even say let's do that to make it more obvious here. So right now it's currently lighting that up. We press it with the piston, and we have no more light because it is no longer adjacent. We move it back with the piston, and the light comes on. So, very simple. It's a nice way to move around blocks. This can be moved with a sticky piston as well there. So, it's made with 9 redstone, like you would make a lot of the storage blocks there. So it's pretty simple. The next blocks we're going to look at is the wood and stone pressure plates. Now, these work almost identically. What they do is, when a certain amount of force is applied to them, they will proceed to generate a strong power source in the block they are on and the block adjacent. So what does that mean? Well, let me get a copy of this real quick here. Let's say that this is the, we'll start off with the wooden one. The wooden one will activate when there's anything standing on it, as well as any item that has landed on it. So to give you an example of such. So in this case, this will light up because it is a strong source, so it'll light up a weak source, but it will not go there. This generates, transmits the strong signal to that, making this weakly powered, which means that will have no power. This is as common if you want to do things like have items land on it and stuff like that there. So, real simple. So, the stone pressure plate is basically the same thing, with the exception that it only activates when someone is standing on it. So in this example, there we go. So it can be a person, it can be a mob, either way, it will activate. And it does the same thing. The block that it is attached to and the block its block both have strong power, which means everything adjacent to it will light up there. It's not very useful for things right above it since you actually have to be standing on it, but it technically does still exist that way. The last one are the two newest pressure plates added. We have the weighted pressure plate, the light weighted pressure plate, and the heavy weighted pressure plate, or you can just think of them as gold and iron pressure plates. As you see, these will not activate when anyone is standing on them. These activate when a certain number of items have landed on them, sort of like the wooden pressure plate, but it takes more. If you want to know the exact numbers, I'd recommend to check out the Minecraft wiki. But to give you an example here, let's go ahead and stand on top of this. Let's go ahead and break this down. So let's say we just threw down 16. Yep. Let's back up slightly so that's easier to land on that. There we go. So you'll see at 16 it gets to about here. Let's go ahead and throw a full stack on this. Like so. If it can land properly. There we go. And you'll see at a full 64, we'll get it all the way down to 15. Just like a standard redstone signal, 15 is as strong as it gets there. 5, 10, 15. The more that you add on, the farther away that it'll travel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 will give you 1, 5 gets you the second one, supposedly, and so on and so forth until it gets to the end. So, one block of this, one stack of this, you notice, is sufficient timing there. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and set this back to 0 time. Now, this is a little different. So, the iron takes a lot to go ahead and get signal applied. So let's go ahead and move a lot of this around here. So, give you the example here. 1 stack gives us 2. Second stack, well, let's back up slightly here. Third stack. Fourth stack, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then should be the 10th. It's basically 9 stacks and then some, and you get a full 15 block power. So this takes a lot of weight for this to get powered here. So just going to throw all these back in here. So for these, you could use these things in like mob factories or things like that, where it continues to kill them, and after a certain amount of time, a certain amount of items have deposited on the ground, it finally kicks the latch and they get dumped into a hopper, things like that. So that right there is pretty much it. These are very simple and straightforward. This right here is one of the more complex ones, but as you see, even this is straightforward there. Just like most everything with the redstone, the basic concepts are simple, but even simple things can be difficult in the end there. But that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comments thread, and I'll be glad to answer them as best I can there. One comment that came up from previously there is, if you look at my video when we were talking about ticks there, when I expanded this off to a second line and branched it, it seemed like at the end they came out at the exact same time here. I'm not certain exactly what was happening at that point. My suspicion is that it was either a issue of a glitch in the game, or a lag on the video, or lag on the computer, because I've not been able to replicate what I was seeing there. Take a look at the video if you want to see what I'm talking about. It should start at just about the 11-minute mark there, where the two different branches, one with only one repeater and one with several repeaters, seem to be coming out at the same time. But this is more of an example of the redstone ticks there, where each repeater is delaying it more and more there. So, But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I hope you all have enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this, a like or favorite is always appreciated. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.